Welcome to 500 Doors, your real estate podcast. Speaking with industry experts in real estate buying, selling, planning, developing, wholesaling, investing, financing, management. If it's real estate, we're talking about it. I'm your host, Kim Hayden, an award-winning 6- and 7-figure real estate agent with over 2 decades of experience. Understanding real estate is a dream for many, that we, real estate professionals, have the ability to bring that dream to reality while building better communities and being the change we want to see. Alrighty, welcome back, 500 Doors. As promised, this season, my entire goal is to introduce you to agents who are being the change. This is not lip service. This is not look at me. I'm on HGTV. These are the real people that are at the ground level making legacy. I'm excited to have our guest today, Christopher Thomas, is a renowned real estate entrepreneur for over 32 years in his market. We're going to bring him into a studio and we're going to start asking, how do you do 32 years in real estate when the average real estate, 87%, will pass through the system within the first 3 years of getting licensed? So let's bring in Christopher. Hi, Christopher.
Hey, how are you?
I am doing awesome. Better now that you're here.
I love your energy.
You know what? As my husband says, I'm full of it. So I think my mother said that too. All right, Christopher, give us the lowdown. Who is Christopher Thomas and where are you at?
All right, Christopher Thomas. I'm a real estate investor / broker. I bought my first house when I was 18 years old, 32 years ago. And I engaged in real estate personally for about 10 years or so before opening up the brokerage. When I opened up the brokerage, it became very evident that the demographic of clients that I served wasn't being served appropriately. I work mostly with first-time homebuyers who likely have been disenfranchised by the system in some way, shape, or form. So I've got a team of 12 agents now. And we work, again, about probably 90 to 95% of our clients are people that never thought that they could own a home. And we do everything we can to help them get into that home as quickly as possible, but it's always an individual process. So we've developed some strategies and some tools that we use to assist people getting to that goal.
I love this because that was a key piece to my business, was that first time home buyer. And there is something super rewarding knowing that you've been a part of creating generational memories.
That's it. That's it. And you said it just the right way. It's just a part. It's nice to be credited for helping them do this, but all we really do is give them good information, and then we're there for support. But more importantly, we can show them examples. We don't have to tell someone that has never experienced homeownership that they can do it, because we don't advertise. The advertisements that we do are by virtue of somebody else that came through our program and bought a house. So that feels really, really good to say and to be. It's nice to know that we don't go out looking for uninteresting business. We do what resonates with us, and it comes. And we'll get to tips for new agents and things like that later, but. It just feels really, really good to be able to do what feels good and to be compensated for it.
Absolutely.
There's no better feeling than I wake up happy every morning, knowing that we helped somebody achieve a goal that they never thought was possible. And we'll get into some of the other stuff. But anyway, that's the start of it.
So why should people make Rochester their home? Why? What is great about your community that is driving you to dedicate 32 years of your life to the development of that community?
I could go on and on, right? So one of the things that makes Rochester, an ideal place, especially for the demographic that I serve, is, and this was up until just before COVID, and even into COVID a little bit, I used to be able to tell renters that you can own for less than you can rent here in Rochester, New York. That's changed just a little bit because of the lack of houses available and the competition that now exists in Rochester, but not too much. This is still a very affordable community. If we look across the nation, we're still something like 100, $150,000 below the average property house. We've got that going for us. On top of the fact that we've got amazing community here. Everywhere that you want to go in Rochester, first of all, is about 15 minutes away. We don't have the massive commute times that some of the other places have, and we also have all four of the seasons. You can you can you can you can go skiing in the winter, fishing in the spring, enjoy the beach in the summer, and then the wonderful foliage changing colors in the fall. And the other thing about what we have here is the people. On top of everything else, all the beautiful amenities we have, there's truly beautiful people inside and out that live here in Rochester. We've got rotten apples everywhere, but on average, most of the people that I meet greet you with such a warm, beautiful smile, and they just make you feel welcome. I remember when I came into the neighborhood that I bought my house in 22 years ago. My neighbors were, happy, smiling, waving, just excited to see somebody just riding through the neighborhood. They are still like that 22 years later. So I mean, it's testament to Rochester's community feel. Like we've got a really awesome set of people that live here.
What's your favorite hidden gem there? Because we know real estate agents always have something. It's either
So
a bookstore or a restaurant or a
uh,
walking path. What's your favorite hidden gem that you tell everybody about and nobody knows about?
all right, there's so it's kind of a category of them. Within about 30 to 45 minutes of Rochester, there's something like a dozen waterfalls that are absolutely amazing. One of them is
Interesting.
called Eternal Falls. There is there's a methane deposit behind a waterfall about 45 minutes from Rochester that has been burning for 300 years. It burns through the summer, through the winter. You can see, ice coming over. We have beautiful, wonderful natural resources here, and all you have to do is go outside, and again, within about 30, 45 minutes, you can get to about a dozen beautiful waterfalls. That's my secret. I'm sure other people might find it.
Amazing. Well, and especially serving first-time home buyers. We know a lot of first-time home buyers are a bit house poor when they're first starting their journey.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
creating community that they can go out and enjoy. I'm guessing there's festivals in
Yes.
Rochester.
Yep.
Um, and really having that knowledge. That is one of the beauties of having a true community agent is where you can enjoy life and have a balance of life, be it for no dollars and a picnic basket or for high dollars and a limo ride, but they'll know all the ins and outs, eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
So so we've watched a lot, you and I have both watched a lot in the real estate world shift over the last 20 years and
Mhm.
like, you know, images around real estate agents and stuff. What makes you unique within your service? And what is insight or information you would like to pass on to the next generation? Because a lot of real estate agents right now are not, they've never experienced a market like this.
Yeah, that's
And
a great question.
I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Yeah,
Fill my cup.
trust me, it's tough. So what makes me unique with respect to the way that I am in real estate? One of the things that I think sets me apart is that I've never worked for one of the big box brokerages. When I actually got my license, they wouldn't hire me. I would take these little personality tests. I know you probably remember where they try to see what kind of salesman you would be, and I would fail consistently because to this day, I still say I don't sell houses. If someone that I'm working with loves a house, that's when I go to work doing my level best to help them get that house. But I would never try to sell someone something as significant a part of their life as a house. So that's one thing. My brokerage has a completely different perspective on how we deal with clients, and I'm so excited about that. Like I said, when I first got into the industry, I said, oh, I gotta, I have to go do this and do that, and I gotta work for these big companies and figure out how to do real estate. And again, I'm so glad that they never hired me. um, Once we opened the brokerage, it was literally within about 6 months to a year, and they were all kind of knocking at the door because now they wanted me to bring my whole team over. But what happened in that time frame is I realized that there's, and this is for the new agents, like specifically, there's no place, no space for you to try to do what somebody else did. Just because you see this, big agent selling these, selling hundreds of homes and all of that, that's their path and that's what they chose to do. And by trying to do something that they did, how does that bring you joy? And that just becomes another job. And I don't think real estate should be a job. I think real estate should be instead of it should be a relational business and not a transactional business. So you have to do what relates to you. You have to do what feels good for you to do. And it doesn't matter where that lane is. You have to find your own lane and be unique in it. And the other thing that is definitely different between me and other realtors is I don't chase a number of transactions. I don't chase an amount every year. We do really, really good, but the focus is always on trying to help as many people as possible. I tell my agents this all the time. I don't want a dime unless it came by virtue of someone that I helped. If someone else is better off by virtue of my efforts, then pay me. But other than that, I really think that should be the goal of what folks do.
I I could not agree more. Like I just love it. And it makes a true difference within the experience, especially when you're dealing with first time home buyers, right? This is like literally a moment in their life they will never forget.
Yeah.
And and we as real estate agents have all had that one that didn't go right, and it sits heavy on the heart.
Yeah.
Right? I can still remember one from, like, 11 years ago, and, we found a defect in the property after they moved in,
Mm,
and it so I know that it tainted their entire view
right.
of the and so we went to the bat to get insurance and to deal with all the, even though we'd done a home inspection, we'd
Yeah.
done everything due diligence, we still found after the fact $30,000 in cracked seals on
What?
windows. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And it turned out being a manufacturing default that or fault, and we had to actually go through the previous homeowner's insurance and the current homeowner's insurance and
Whoa.
put it all together to get all these windows reglazed properly.
Wow.
And
See,
because it was this big peak, but that still weighs on me. I know I
yeah.
can't change their minds, their emotional intake, but what I can do is serve, because there's no guarantee.
And so that gets to the point that I was kind of making. That's a relational decision. Like you have a relationship with that person that you helped get into that house, right? You didn't just take your commission and run. I mean, the fact that you stayed involved, even though it wasn't the best experience, they will always know that they can count on you, that you stood with them through. And that's how, like, if you can't feel like you can do that for every client that you serve, you're serving too many clients. You know what I mean? If your goal is now, let me see how many units I can do, it's changed that whole focus. And now how do you sleep well at night knowing that you might have sold somebody a property that wasn't quite perfect because you wanted to move a unit? So I applaud you for having been there for that client for 11 years ago. You still remember it, and I'm sure they still remember it too. Congratulations.
Well, and that's what we are really striving here, shining the light on agents who will stick around, right? We want the agents that, even if you want to retire, there's still that core group of people that says, "Please, please, please handle my kids, take care of my
Yes,
cousin," right?
because they're family.
Absolutely.
Yeah, whenever a client buys with us, we introduce them as part of our new to you homes family. So we're very proud of the fact that once somebody buys a house, we don't go away. We're still there. whenever they need to, some advice or to do something in the future, we like to be able to be there with them.
Can you give me a little bit of insight? You said you have a whole program that people
Yeah,
go through. Can
yeah,
you give us just, like a high view of what that program is and how you designed that program out to for people?
yeah. It's a great question. So we started with first time home buyer classes 14 years ago. And the first Wednesday of every month ever since then, we've had probably between 20 and 30 new clients come into the program. Of those clients, probably 10% are ready right now. The rest of them need some help. They need to figure out what they need to do to become mortgage ready. The first thing that we do is have them sit down and an individual home purchase plan for each and every one of them. And then we add on financial literacy tools and techniques to assist them in being more competent with respect to finances. Just before COVID, I had all of my agents go and get become certified financial counselors. They could do that as a side gig or whatever if they wanted to, but my goal is so that when they sit down with a client, we can give them a more comprehensive explanation of what they need to do as they go through their process of becoming prepared. And they all probably take 9 to 12 months or so to get there. But literally we'll interact with them on a monthly basis, help them set up a spending plan. We change the verbiage in a budget, and we call it a spending plan, because I feel like a spending plan is more it's more freeing, where a budget is restrictive. A spending plan allows them to take the money that they might have allocated some different way and reallocate it to a goal that they have. And if that goal is saving, $10,000 to purchase a house, now it's not as hard to redirect that money that they were spending going out to eat. You know what I mean? For
Yep.
a period of time. Now they can see the tangible effect of it, and now they've got a little bit more of a carrot. You know what I mean? To chase as they're working toward their goal. So it's all in the phrasing. And then, again, throughout the program, we interact with them about once a month. And we give them different, understandings of there's different modules that get into, the inspection, what to expect when they're actually, looking for houses. It's a relatively comprehensive program, but the biggest and most important part of it is we're really just there to be a voice for them to hear. Every time when folks join our program, I tell them they get a dedicated real estate professional, so that when they have anything real estate related, they don't have to go to Google, or they don't have to guess, or they don't have to call their auntie. They can call somebody that is engaged in real estate activities on an everyday basis to get an actual answer that they can trust, knowing that my whole team is there specifically to help them achieve their goal. And we fully realize that we can do business differently. We could chase the bigger dollar clients, because our average client is still probably 200,000 or so. It's like we don't do we don't do a lot of $1 million properties, but I still wouldn't do it any differently than we're doing it right now today. It's not about that specific commission amount as much as it is about that relationship and helping these people get on to a better place in life.
Well, what's interesting is over the last few years, I've talked to a lot of real estate agents, and I have found, this is just my personal observation, is that when we are looking at that top 1% real estate agents, right? Out of those top 1%, like 90% are community driven real estate agents. They are putting that little extra back into their community to serve
Mhm.
their community. They know where to get the best ice cream. They know where the great steak is. They know the ins and outs, what this school does and what that school does.
Yeah.
And what's fascinating is they always work from a place of optimism.
And they do it genuinely. Like
Yes.
you can't fake this business. And I tell people, I tell the new agents that as well. Like, you cannot fake being a genuine person, and everything that you do in real estate reverberates. If I did something 20 years ago and it was not done right, or done with with nefarious intentions, that comes back. Like, I can point at some of the people, like you said, people 3 years into business. how many realtors do you know that came out like a flash in the pan? Oh, just all exciting, and then 3 years later you don't know where they went, but you do remember that one deal you had with them where they didn't complete the documentation and expected you to do it, or you know what I mean, all those little things.
That's one of my reference stories is one of the agents that joined the brokerage I was at a year after me was a golf pro and taught golf. In the 4 months at Calgary, you can do golf. He was a golf pro. Um, and he came out and he crushed it. Rookie of the year, first year, president's choice the next year, third year, gone.
Hmm.
And he had never developed a business model. What he had done is he had gone to all of his list of people
Hmm.
and badgered them to buy or sell. And then when he ran out of that circle, he just quit.
Yeah, because
He
he
didn't
didn't
turn
have
it into a
there
business.
was, yeah, no longevity. If he had treated them very well, he would have never had to worry about another client again. Like, and again, I will ring not my bell, but my company, New to You Homes, and the people that I work with. I can't tell you how proud I am of the people that I work with. My wife is my partner in business, and I can't tell you how proud I am that they swallowed the Kool-Aid. Like they believed as I believe, even though it's unpopular, and it's actually wildly unpopular right now, right? Everybody's looking for listings and all of that. We will not change course. I mean, we've tightened our belt a little bit, but it's because we have a core value, a core set of things that we believe. And even though now it's a lot harder to get our first time home buyers into properties, we'll never give up on them, and we come up with strategies. Like my job as a broker is to come up with strategies to help them be more successful. We've added, additional classes on that help the clients and the agents see what's going on in the market. To your, one of your original conversations, it is so important to look specifically at what's happening right now so that you can judge how you need to present your offer such that it'll win. And it's really just looking at, like you said, the data and the stats. What has won in the past, and not even, we can't even say 6 months or 3 months. What has won in the past month and a half? How can we use that information to help you set up your transaction so that it's successful for your client?
Ah, that's awesome. And your website is new with the numeral two with the letter U homes.com, correct?
Yep, that's
And
it.
we can get a hold of you through your new to homes at gmail.com. We
Yep.
can connect to you directly. And you're on what platforms can people find information and connect with you?
Yeah, so I'm on them all. However, I don't do a whole lot, just being honest. But I'm available on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, and YouTube, and even Twitter, and I think TikTok as well. Like I said, I'm available. I see the messages and things. I'm not the type that posts every day. You know what I mean? I try to put important posts up when they feel really, really important to do. Um, but for the most part, I'm trying to help people get into homes more than I'm trying to be seen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
All
get
the
it. I get it 110%. Um, in closing, what are some of the resources? If we went to the new to you homes.com, what are some of the resources there that people can just start kind of getting to know you?
Okay, so one of the interesting things that'll be showing up really, within the next probably couple of days or so is we just relicensed a first time home buyer app that allows for the clients that sign up for the app to get credits toward their closing costs just by virtue of being signed up. Every month they pay their rent. I want to say 5% goes towards this account that these sponsored banks, and we finally got a bank in Rochester that's willing to sponsor it, will actually give them this physical check right at closing, based on the fact that they've paid rent. It'll only go up to 1% of the purchase price, but that's still significant. More
That's
importantly, yeah, there's a
everything
lot of
else.
the training modules that I was talking about. There's a lot of them built into there. There's also just the standard information on a real estate website. You can look for houses and things of that nature. But definitely look out for the app. It's called the New to You Rewards app, and I'm extremely excited about it.
I'm excited. Who's the bank that decided to step up and support you?
So I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say this
Oh,
out loud, but I'm gonna say it. It looks like one of our local banks. They've done some phenomenal things in the first time home buyer space, and I won't claim that they've already, agreed, but it's looking really, really good.
awesome. And good on you for taking the initiative to create space for people who truly, because having a home, be it a condo, a house, a
Yeah.
townhouse, whatever, it doesn't matter. Having your own four walls creates a level of security and dignity.
And
And
to tie into your community just really quickly, when somebody owns versus rents, they are now a part of that area. So when they see something crazy happening down the street, they're going to call on it. When they see garbage in front of the house, they're going to pick it up because now they're a part of that community. We encourage our folks to be involved as politically as they possibly can as well. Go vote, know who your local representative is. Just be involved, being a positive presence in the place that you live, because that becomes community. And the more positive folks we have, the better our community is.
amazing. Thank you, Christopher. I really, really appreciate your time. And I know for a fact somebody is appreciating your time right now.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. All right, folks. Until next time, you know what? Be good to yourself. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Thank you for joining us at the 500 Doors, your real estate podcast. Be sure to join our Facebook group at Real Estate Success with 500 Doors. Keep on watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share, because we all know sharing is caring.